So for me, it was standing against that yellow bar. I
Mhm.
remember just behind, just to get my head on the bar. I remember the first game I went to with my dad and my uncle. They're both quite big set fellas. I remember being in there, being tiny, stood against this bar, and thousands of people chanting and screaming, and there's pies and all sorts flying everywhere. They were 3-0 up at half time. And I remember stood there feeling absolutely terrified, but the safest place in the world to go because I was
Mhm.
between my uncle. I think that might be my first ever memory as a Chesterfield game. Though it was my uncle turned around to me and said, "We may as well go home. You should never lose from 3-0 down at half time," and they ended up drawing 3-3. So we didn't quite lose, but we did throw it away. It was classic Chesterfield.
Hi everyone, Dave here. Welcome to a little bonus episode of Legends of the Spy this week. Not with the player, something a little bit different, but it's a project that's really captured my imagination, so I really wanted to get him on the podcast and share the little project that he's doing. I spoke to Matty Greenan. Now Matty's a lifelong Chesterfield fan, brought up watching games over at Saltergate, which we had a little chat about, but he's now a stone carver working in the Hope Valley area. He's completely self-taught in terms of carving stone and makes these absolutely beautiful carvings that he showcases on YouTube, has an amazing community of people who he's taught how to carve stone, and he does these amazing longer projects as well that he streams live. So this weekend, information coming up in the podcast, Matty will be carving the Chesterfield FC badge onto a piece of Derbyshire stone. That's just amazing in itself. But after he's done it, they'll be raffling off the stone carving in aid of the Ernie Moss Foundation. You'll be able to buy a raffle ticket for around about £5, I think it is, and then the winner will get to keep this beautiful piece of art. If you keep your eye out on the Chesterfield FC social channels, and on 1866 and places like that, you'll hear about how to be able to get a raffle ticket, and they'll be available for a few weeks. And there'll also be all the links in the show notes below, should you want to see the stone carving in action this coming weekend. I had a chat with Matty about this whole project and the whole background to it all. So here we go. Hope you enjoy it. How does this all start for you then? Kind of where you started in terms of carving stone?
So carving stone, yeah, I started probably 9 years ago carving stone, but before that, I was a dry stone waller. So I've been a stonemason for 15 years.
Mhm.
And I was building a wall away one day, and a customer said to me, "Is there any chance we could stop this wall? Because I want to put a nameplate in." And I was young, I had a young family. And anyone who's ever built a dry stone wall, no, you don't get paid unless the coping stones are on top of the wall.
Right, yeah.
So I didn't get paid until the wall was complete. So me being really brave and said, "I'll tell you what, can I ever go doing the carving?" Because I wanted to get paid. I didn't have any money, a young family. So I went away and I got my dad's wood. I took my dad's wood chisels and a hammer from his shed, went back to my own house and started carving away on this piece and absolutely ruined his wood chisels. But made a house sign for this customer and they really liked it. Then next door said, "Can we have one?" And then before you knew it, the local driving instructor had passed away and he said, "Could you make a memorial stone for him?"
Wow.
And it just spiraled from there. So I started practicing more and buying proper tools and venturing into carving alongside dry stone walling until they overtook each other and became more of a carver than a dry stone waller. And then I set up a business.
So does being a dry stone waller help you in terms of becoming a carver, in terms of the feel of the material, I suppose?
Yeah, so I'm a letterist by trade now. I would say that is my job now, which is weird because I'm dyslexic. So I carve letters well, I used to do it for a living. Now it's a hobby, but also being dyslexic, which I always find a little bit amusing.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it does. I think it means you understand the basic bits of stone. So when you're dressing stone with a hammer, you understand how it breaks, you understand how it works, the tightness of the grain, what to look for. So I think it definitely lends itself to it. Yeah.
Is it more is carving a piece of stone more about being quite having bits of dexterity with it? You know, because you obviously you think of it as something that when you're dealing with stone, it can be something that's quite brutal. But I am, but I imagine it takes actually quite a lot of
And
dexterity and like softness to it as well.
yeah, so when I'm teaching people to carve, it's weird. So you want to hold the chisel. So I've got this pen in my hand here. You want to
Mhm.
hold the chisel, and you want to be able to feel the pressure at the bottom, and you want to feel you want your thumb on the chisel, so you can feel pressure on the top and the bottom. But in the middle, it needs to be kind of loose.
Mhm.
So you need to be free moving, and you need to be able to feel the stone and feel the chisel and be able to move a bit. And you're holding the hammer and you're just tapping really lightly. So it's nothing too big and aggressive when you're carving letters. I carved a poem what was 500 letters, and they were all 6 mil, and I used a 4 mil chisel, all in lowercase. So you just tap, 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 tapping away. So you've got to be really gentle and really soft and know whereabouts to move and what bits of stone to move at the right times. So yeah, it's not about busting up big pieces of stone. It can be, but not really when you letter it.
So is it in the family then in terms of working with stone and things like that, or being quite good with your hands?
I'm good with my hands. That comes from my dad. My dad was in the Forestry Commission growing up, and he used to
Mhm.
drive around and go, I built that dry stone wall. I put that gate in because when they were on the forestry, they were doing all sorts. They weren't just forestry work. Dry stone walling, yeah. And working with stone, it all comes from my dad, really,
Yeah.
mainly. I used to watch him carve a lot. He's really good with wood. So I used to watch him carve with wood, not letters, but he'd be making stuff like fireplaces, like wooden fireplaces. He'd make a surround at home, or if we needed a new bookshelf, he'd make it.
Yeah.
So I've learned a lot from there, using my hands with my dad, yeah.
Mm. Great. So how did the YouTube channel and everything come about then? At what point did you feel like this was something that you really wanted to share and give people a kind of start doing a bit of teaching and stuff like that?
I got tricked into YouTube. So when I had the business and we had all these customers coming in and say to me, "You should film this, or can you film this for me and my family?" So if I was making a memorial or then
Mhm.
or a outside, somebody would say, "Can you film it?" And I want to show my family. It's all been handmade from this stonemason in Bamford. The business was based at the Hope Valley Garden Centre, right in the middle of the Peak District, using Derbyshire stone. They wanted it filmed, and I always just said no straight away. No, no, it's not happening. Then my daughter said to me one day, "I'd like to start a YouTube channel or a Twitch account."
All right.
I think it's
Yeah.
very similar, talking about English literature and books that she likes. She said, "I'm not brave enough to do it." So me being me said, "If you do it, I'll do it." So I bought myself a camera. I went on Amazon, I think it was. I had this camera delivered. I recorded my first video. It was atrocious, but then I got it ready and said to her, "I'm ready. Now, if I'm going to do it and be brave, you've got to go and do it to be brave." So I uploaded it. That was 2.5 years ago. She's never uploaded a single video, and I'm 150 videos later. So it's tricked into it. But then also, if I'm doing something, I want to kind of do it.
Mhm.
I want to do it quite well if I can. I want to give it my best.
Yeah.
So my plan was to get to. I wanted something what wasn't an embarrassing amount of subscribers. I wanted a couple of hundred subscribers to say we've got them, and now I think we're on like just over 4,000. So it's kind of grown a little bit.
Yeah. And that act of actually sharing something's quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah,
I kind
yeah,
of enjoy it because obviously I started doing just talking to a few footballers in lockdown, and purely for me it was just because I kind of wanted to talk to them, and it's like almost like how can I trick people into talking to me about football careers? Oh, I'll put it online, and
yeah.
then it was really nice how quickly it had kind of quite a good reaction, and then you find yourself doing it as a regular thing, and it's kind of becomes part of your life, what you do each week. Have you kind of
Yeah,
found it the same way?
yeah. Yeah, definitely. I love teaching people. There's nothing better for me than I make a video. So I've made lots, like say, 150 videos where someone will watch one and then they'll send me a message saying, um, I've just carved as a house sign, or um, my, I said my dog's passed away and I've made him a memorial, which is quite morbid, but actually it's quite special that they've gone on, they've found the video, they've carved it, and I'm teaching people using basic tools you can find around your house or the best tools you can buy on the market. And they send me a message saying how they've got into it, how they enjoy it. they didn't want to start off being a stonemason or a letterist, and then they've been inspired by the videos. Make it look. They say it comes across quite often. So they make it look so simple, and it's so down to earth. The videos that they just want to have a go, and then they found themselves a couple of people who really suffer with their mental health have bought themselves a stone carving kit for £20, just the chisels and the hammer, and then this carve down. They found themselves in this really relaxed state, and they really enjoy it. I get some really nice comments weekly. I get comments, but some what really stand out each week where you're just like, yeah, I really enjoy this. I love teaching people. It's from all over the world, lots and lots of people.
Yeah.
It's an amazing. And then they send you pictures of it, and you're like, wow, I feel a bit a part of that. There's a guy in Texas who's just done a carving for his motorbike club, never done any carving before, till he started watching my channel, bought himself some stuff, and now he's carved it and it's hanging up at his motorbike club. You feel a little bit connected to that.
Yeah. Well, that's a brilliant way to have a positive impact on the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's just
And
it sometimes doesn't have to be a huge thing in many ways, but you can make a positive impact on people just by sharing the smallest things, really. And art has that amazing ability, doesn't it, to be a great calming influence on people and a way for people to kind of feel at one with themselves, I suppose. Yeah. So how if I wanted to go out now then and kind of have a go, what would I need to start?
The first thing you need to do is watch my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Go
on, you've got a chance to name drop now.
Yeah, the Stone Ranger.
Great title.
Yeah, it makes my background of the stonemason and my new world of a Peak Park Ranger, and we've kind of morphed them together. So you don't have to buy anything really. So like I said, I started off with a claw hammer and a wood chisel out of my dad's shed. And there's such soft stone out there, like a Portland limestone or a Maltese limestone you can buy really cheap. Some Derbyshire stones really cheap, really soft. Sorry. So and you can carve away. Just have a go and carve away. But I did a video not too long ago reviewing the cheapest stone carving kit online, and if it was £13.50 delivered to your house. And they've sold loads of them since they're getting them. Lots of my subscribers have sent me pictures of them carving them. And they're great. The quality of them is really great, especially for the money. So people can pick it up for less than £15 and you can have a go. So you just need a piece of stone and a really cheap carving kit, really.
And what's the best way to start then? Is it doing straight lines or is it doing, how do you start?
Yeah. When I'm teaching courses, so I teach a lot for the Peak Park of like we have groups that come in and we have like a Christmas special and we'll do some carving stuff. Straight lines is great, but what I like to get people to do is carve leaves. So they hand draw a leaf on. So we get a book about all different leaves, like autumn leaves, and then they freehand them on and draw them, and then just go for it. So you're getting a bit of everything. You're getting a bit of the curvedness of there on the leaf. You're getting the straight lines in there without really thinking about the straight lines because you think you're carving this leaf, but what you're gaining a little bit of experience everywhere. It crosses over so much while carving the leaf. And then I do something called a 40-minute carving. So you can draw a flower and then you've got 40 minutes and just go for it. And it doesn't matter. You're using old scrap stone and you've only got 40 minutes, so there's pressure on. It doesn't matter if you make a mistake. It doesn't matter. Because if you've got all day to do it, you're tapping and going around. 40 minutes, you go at it, you can fly off all directions, but you learn what you can achieve with a chisel and a hammer because you're on the clock. And it's a great way to say, I didn't actually realise I could do this. I actually have one I did in 40 minutes here. I've not set this up actually, but it's on my desk, so I can show you. Yeah. So this is a 40-minute carving.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's cool.
So then you carve it out, and then but you're gaining so much there. So when I first started, I'd be in my shed just carving. I just wanted to carve. I just put my headphones in and I just wanted to carve. I'd listen to a football match and just carve away. So I think, right, I've got 90 minutes. I'd go in at half time, refill my pint of tea, and then go back to my shed and carve and listen to the other half. And I just wanted to, but then it became a business. So then you had commissions to do, lots of commissions, and then I had 15 products sold all day, every day. And we shipped them all over the world. We sold so much in America, it was unbelievable. So I had to carve the same things. then, so I was forced in what to carve. So I didn't get to choose. Every now and again, I'd throw a little bit of a tantrum and go, right, I'm carving something I want to carve, and I'd go off and carve something, and then we'd take a picture of it and we'd put it on our social media, and then it'd become a product. So it'd be like, all right, I've created another one to go on the list. And that, so when I stopped the business, I was starting to fall out of love with carving a little bit. So because you turned a hobby into a business, and it's a real fine line, and then you're doing all these commissions and all these bits. So I stopped it, kept the YouTube channel going on in the background, but slowly. It didn't take long because I got to carve what I wanted to carve again. The passion came back for it. So now that's why I'm carving the Chesterfield badge. But I've carved all sorts of different things. I even did a job for Pink Floyd. I did a brick in the wall on a piece of stone, so I had to make one red brick, and I bought a whole ton of red stone to make one red brick. So I've still got loads of it in my yard, all this red stone. I need to find a project for it. If anyone's got a project for a ton of red stone they want me to carve, I've got lots of. It's from St. Bees. I don't know if you know the quarry at St. Bees.
Right, yeah.
The sea water in it, kind of. That's where the redness comes from. It's good still.
Yeah. So then you are carving the Chesterfield badge in.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking now on the 25th. So you're carving it in what, a week and a half, something like that, is it?
Week on Sunday, yeah, the 4th of February. I'm going to start about 10 o'clock in the morning.
And how long do you think it's going to take?
5 or 6 hours. Yeah, I'm gonna prep. I'm gonna shape the stone. I'm gonna make the stem slope. I'll get it all marked on, and I'll have it ready on my workbench in my. So I have a couple of workshops. I'm gonna do it in my mini workshop at the bottom of the garden, on an easel, with the lights on. I'm just gonna carve away. So yeah, 5 or 6 hours, lots of carving, and hopefully someone will bring me some cups of tea.
And do you start outside in or inside out?
Yeah, it depends. So as we're going along, so I'm going to be starting from the outside and moving some material, flattening off the stone, because it's quite an intricate badge in places. It's not too detailed, but you've got like the C and the F overlap each other. So it's getting that's got to be quite right. And then you've got to kind of figure it out as you go along, which is actually, I don't know which badge to carve. Is it called the new one or the old one?
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure, but I'm going to go with the new one.
Whichever you do, you can do the other one afterwards.
Yeah.
And why? Why the Chesterfield badge?
I'm a Chesterfield fan. So Chesterfield's my team, so it was great. I've done a couple of badges before, so I can't say it's the first one I've done, but they were commissioned where people came in and said, can I buy a Sheffield United badge, or can I buy a Manchester United badge? So I've done them before. This is the first one I've done for charity. I've done quite a few bits for charity over the years, but this is the first one I've done, and I get to choose. So I don't know if you saw it. I put it on the Chesterfield fan page, the social media fan group, and I wanted to carve something, and I wanted to know if there was anyone local charity what could benefit from it. And Sarah Moss straight away sent me a message. I was like, well, that's it. Let's do it. It's a great call, the Ernie Moss Foundation.
Yeah. And how's that going to work in terms of the fundraising for it?
So they're gonna sell raffle tickets. So we spoke about different ways to do it. We're going to auction it, but auctioning doesn't seem fair because you're going to price so many people out of the market for it. Not everybody's got surplus cash, especially nowadays, to go and to bid on something. We don't know how much it would go for, but it's whatever it is. It'll just price people out of the market. So we want to do a raffle. So we're going to do raffle tickets at £5 each. They're going to be on sale for a whole month. So they're going to go on sale on the 4th, the day I'm carving, and they'll go until the end of February. Then you'll be able to buy them on the Chesterfield Club website, and you'll be able to buy them. There'll be links all over social media for the fan prime.
So people can you'll be live streaming it throughout, so people can just kind of keep dropping in on it, or just get completely engrossed in it for hours.
So I want people to be able to see that it's handmade. So I'm taking a piece of raw Derbyshire stone, what has gone from a block of a couple of ton. It's been cut up, it's been sheeted, it's been polished, it's been prepped, and I want people to see how it's made. If they're gonna go out the way to buy a raffle ticket, I want them to know that a machine, if someone's not programming the machine and press go, it's so easy in this day and age now. We've got CNC machines just to press go and it's gone. But I'm going to stand over hammer and chisel and carve it for hours. And I want people to be able to see what's gone into it. I want them to drop on, show a bit of support, put a thumbs up on it. I just want them to be able to see the effort, what's gone into it, and see how it's made, so they know what they're getting. And that video will be there forever. So whoever wins it, they can show people. They can say, "I've got this, and this is how it's made." Yes, you can drop in and out for the whole time. There'll be links. People could go to the YouTube channel now. They could go to the Stone Ranger. They could click subscribe, and then it notify them when I'm going live on the 4th, or they could just drop in on the 4th and just have a look. There will be links flying around on the social media page.
And it's a great opportunity in the days leading up to it to kind of watch some of your previous stuff, like say, have a look at those videos about those kind of cheap kits and things like that, and kind of get a bit of background to it all before you then go live. It's, I mean, yeah. I kind of, there's so much good YouTube content out there from loads of different people that is just mesmerizing in many ways, and this is another one of those channels, so it's a good chance for people to kind of dip in before you go live with the badge project.
Yeah, go and have a look if you're interested, or you want to do something soon, or if you just want to do something in your garden or restore. You've got a house sign or a bit of a bird bath, anything you've got really. Just go on. You might find a video on there that will help you out. You might get inspired to do a bit of carving. You might think, well, I fancy this. I'll have a go at this. Or like I say, every Wednesday night, I'm stone carving with 2,000 people from all around the world. And come and say hello. Some of the members of the channel, they're the nicest people. They're just people who are putting, like, someone would ask for advice of something they've got going on in life, and they'll all be all over it, helping out and giving advice. Yeah. It's a lovely place to be.
Yeah, and it's brilliant that every week people have that club that they're part of, even if they live at different parts of the world. What a great thing to do.
We're doing so. I've got one guy who's an artist like yourself who draws like Celtic knots. So he's I think he's in Denmark at the minute. So he draws, Graham is called, and he draws the most amazing things. So what I've asked him to do is to draw me a knot. He's going to email me this knot, and I'm going to stencil it onto a piece of stone. But then for anyone who's interested, the 4,500 subscribers who want to carve it, I'll also forward it to them. So potentially, so we'll all be carving it at the same time within that week on using whatever chisels you can afford, like we said before, like really cheap stuff or most expensive stuff, whether you're doing it on stone or wood, or you're just going to draw it because you're an artist rather than a carver. There could be 4.5 people all around the world using all different materials, all carving as one design at the same time, all part of this community.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Well, best of luck with it. I hope it all goes as planned. I suppose as you go along with these things, little bumps in the road appear along the way sometimes that you have to negotiate.
And start again. I have to start again. It could be 5 minutes in and it all break, and I'll have to start again. So yeah, you can't rub a piece of stone out. So we'll have to figure it out as we're going along.